Hello folks and welcome back. You may have noticed that I failed to talk about the Apple Watch and in general smartwatches in my other videos. This is a watch channel and I should talk about all kinds of watches including smartwatches, right? Well, yes and no. The fact is I do not own a smartwatch and I have no intention of ever owning a smartwatch, and in this video I'm going to explain why. Before we begin, let's take a look at what a smartwatch is. A quick online search reveals that a smartwatch is, quote, a touchscreen wearable computer in the form of a wristwatch. So already we can see that it's primarily a computer which performs tasks, amongst which is telling the time. They can also run apps such as Uber, but their effectiveness is limited by the size of the screen, meaning that you still need to have your phone at your side when you need to type something in. Because of this, they cannot function as independent devices, meaning that you still need your phone, on which these apps run better anyway. The battery life when compared to traditional watches is also relatively poor. Smartwatches were brought to market about 6 years ago, and during that time, the battery life has remained the same, of approximately 1 to 2 days for those with coloured screens. In comparison, traditional digital watches have batteries that last typically from 2 to 7 years before they need replacing, and automatic mechanical watches can last indefinitely as the movement of the wrist will keep them wound. The imposition of charging your watch on a daily basis means that it's another task for you to remember, and it also means that you need to bring along another set of charging cables when you go on a trip or vacation. My belief is that we should simplify and cut out tasks from our own lives that do not benefit us so that we can concentrate on tasks that do. An example of this can be seen in the fact that some successful people wear the same clothes on a daily basis in order to minimize unnecessary decision making. For example, Mark Zuckerberg is often seen wearing a grey t-shirt or hoodie in photos. You'll also notice that in none of the photos is he wearing a smartwatch. The smartwatch can also act as a fitness tracker. They can measure how many steps you're taking on a daily basis, your heartbeat rate, how long your periods of inactivity are, etc. But here's the thing, these features are also available on the smartphone that you already probably have. My Huawei phone, for example, already has a pedometer and health apps built in. Getting down to roots though, remember that if you want to improve your fitness level or to get fit, it's going to be the exercise that you do that gets you fit and not the gadget that you have. The last feature of the smartwatch is the one I have the biggest gripe with, and that is notifications. The smartwatch can be paired with your smartphone to receive notifications when they arrive immediately, whether it be from Facebook, Twitter, breaking news, etc., or your email. These notifications are usually announced by the smartwatch making a sound or a buzzing vibration. The result of these constant notifications is that they cause our focus to suffer quite a lot. Researchers at Florida State University carried out tests on volunteers, and they found out that their performance when carrying out tasks suffered when they received a phone notification, and worse still, they didn't even need to check their phones for their performance to fall. Just the sound of the notification was enough. Context switching or jumping from one task to another is a proven productivity killer. Buddhists have a concept called the monkey mind, and what they mean by this is that our mind is always looking for something else to do, rather than focusing on the task in hand. The monkey mind insists on being heard and will stifle your creativity and prevent you from moving forward with your passions if not kept under control. These notifications will feed your monkey mind, and I would argue that notifications on the smartwatch are more dangerous than on the smartphone because of their immediacy. Having them appear on your wrist means that they are always visible. I mentioned that I do not own a smartwatch, but I sit next to a colleague at work that does, and he's also decided to set his up so that he receives work emails on his smartwatch. Psychologists have warned that constant email notifications are, and I quote, a toxic source of stress, meaning that we can never escape from work emails even on our time off. and I've often found him checking his email when we're on our lunch break. Email has become a form of messenger, and I'd hate to think of the psychological trauma that it's causing. You can of course turn off the notifications on the smartwatch, but what would be the point in that, as you'd be left with a so-called dumb watch where the battery lasts only a day. For the moment though, I'm happy to stick with my Seiko Arctura. At least it doesn't bug me every few minutes with useless notifications. I also don't have to charge it daily, as the capacitor inside can last up to 40 years. That's it for now guys, and thank you for watching. I'd love to hear your point of view on the smartwatch. Do you own one, or have you owned one in the past and have given up on it? For the moment though, this has been Roger, and see you next time.